Mr. Chairman, I want to start with today's news. Tell me what you thought of the speech by Benjamin Netanyahu. It was very well received.
Yeah, it was an outstanding speech. Prime Minister Netanyahu he brought out dramatically the intensely close relationship between the United States and Israel, how we share common values, that Israel is our closest and really only guaranteed ally in the Middle East, and that Israel's security has to be paramount, that we can't be asking Israel to make sacrifices for peace if they're not going to get guarantees for peace. And again, the way he communicated with the audience, with the members of Congress, with the senators, I thought it was just a phenomenal speech.
He said he was willing to make a lot of concessions, but he also had a very long list of requirements. He said that the Palestinian leadership needs to disassociate itself with Hamas before talks can even start. Right. He said that any Palestinian state would have to be demilitarized. A lot of things that are simply going to be unpalatable, as you know, to the Palestinian people, including the fact that Jerusalem, in his words, should not be separated ever again.
Yeah, but again, I think we're talking about a country that needs this to survive. I mean, Israel cannot be making any more concessions beyond what it's already been asked to make, and again, some adjustment of the borders. But you can't be, I don't see how you can be carving up Jerusalem. I don't see how you can have a militarized Palestinian state, because again, their past record is one of just firing rockets into Israel, allying itself with the most terrorist and extremist elements. So I think what Prime Minister Netanyahu, part of its negotiation strategy, but also I think it is a position that he really can't move from, because Israel can't afford to make one mistake. All the other countries in the region, if they make a mistake, they can live to fight another day. If Israel makes a mistake, it can be fatal to its existence.
He got such a rapturous welcome here, 25 standing ovations. It was really a stark juxtaposition from what happened at the White House last week and all that very tense body language between Netanyahu and the president. Is that just because the president has to try to push these two sides to make a deal and Congress doesn't have to do that? They can just stay firmly on the side of Israel?
Well, I can only speak for myself in that overall I believe President Obama, for whatever reason, has antagonized Israel over the last 2 years. He antagonized the British, he antagonized Israel, and sort of his moral equivalency between Israeli settlements and Iranian nuclear program, between the Palestinians and Israel. There is no moral equivalency, and I think this was Congress's way of saying that there is no moral equivalency between Israel and Hamas, or Israel and Iran. Israel is our ally. We have an obligation to stand with Israel. So I think that's really what you saw today, was the strong expression of support and admiration for a close ally who lives in the most dangerous neighborhood in the world.
You're holding the first hearing on Capitol Hill about Osama bin Laden tomorrow and what his death means for Homeland Security here in the United States. What are you hoping to glean?
My concern since the death of bin Laden, which was a terrific thing, I give the president full credit for the killing of bin Laden. My concern is that too many of the American people believe now the war is over, that Qaeda has been dramatically weakened. They haven't been. In many ways, the threat, at least in the short run, is greater now than any time since September 11th. This is a victory against al-Qaeda. We can take advantage of it, but in the meantime, over the next several months or years, al-Qaeda is still deadly, and right now in this immediate future, al-Qaeda, I believe, is going to seek revenge. They're going to show that they are very much alive, that they are capable of an attack, and I expect the attack, if it does happen, to come from within the United States, not from the outside in, like on September 11th, but actually from people already in this country, either lone wolves or those who actually have been recruited in the past by al-Qaeda and are here as sleepers.
The Patriot Act is coming up for reauthorization, as you know. Do you think that Congress should take this opportunity of this big victory, getting bin Laden, to take another look at that document and say what's working, what isn't? Can we refine this in any way before reauthorizing it, say, for another 4 years?
I believe the Patriot Act is fine the way it is. In fact, in some ways, maybe I would even make it tougher. Now, I think this Patriot Act is fine. It's needed, it's necessary, and we should vote and get it through.